Boston is a very lively city, and I think that's probably the thing that I like the most about it. It feels like there are people around you, and it's the sort of the city where you can just kind of walk around from point A to point B without really requiring a car or something like that, which I thought was great.
I mean, I love Boston. If you want to do something, it's here for the most part. I mean, there are great museums here. I go to the Symphony. The Symphony here is awesome. There's concerts here. There's music here, and the best hot chocolate I've had in my life is right on Newberry Street.
Boston is great if you're a city person. It's great if you're not a city person. It's great if you're in between. And you can drive 2 hours up the road to get to New Hampshire and go skiing at some of the greatest, resorts in the Northeast. So it's close by, accessible. Everything's there.
What I love is having the chance to go to the mountains or go to the beaches, and we as groups get together and go hiking frequently, or we'll go to the beach for an afternoon, and it's really easy to get to from Boston, so there's a lot going on in and out of the city.
It has the arts and culture, and obviously sports are huge, to say the least, here. But beyond that, I just really like that, you can be downtown and doing everything that a city of this size has to offer, but then, in 30 minutes, there's great hikes right outside the city, a lot of which you can even get to by public transport.
So one of the things that I love the most about Boston is the Boston Harbor. I try to spend a lot of my free time as close to the water as possible. So Boston has a lot of great restaurants on the water with beautiful views, and also a lot of walking and running paths where I like to walk my dog. One of my favorite places is walking around Castle Island in South Boston. There are great places to enjoy the outdoors here.
Boston has become much more biker friendly, so there's bike lanes all over Boston now. And so my fiance and I often ride up the Charles and then over to Cambridge, or along some of the trails, and you can pretty much stay on a bike path the entire way all over Boston. So it's like a fun weekend activity.
The benefit of being at a place like, or being at Tufts and in a city like Boston, is that there's so much to do, for young people, for people in the medical community, and you can really kind of maximize, the amount of leisure time and social time you have when you're outside the hospital.
I think it has everything that you could ever want in a city, but it's manageable. It's not as big as New York in the sense of it's so vast and everything is busy, but you have multiple neighborhoods. Every neighborhood has its own feel. It's walkable. You have the public transportation system. You have great food. Newberry Street if you wanted to do shopping. You have the Esplanade if you wanted to walk around, go around the Charles. It has kind of everything you would want, but it's not too overwhelming at the same time.
It's a very medical city. I have friends and colleagues from medical school that are at other hospitals in the city, and I still keep in touch with them, so that's always cool to hear how residency is going for them and different experiences that they've had.
There's so much to do in Boston. It's actually really nice. It feels intimate and small, but at the same time, there's endless places to go, and there's so many different little suburbs, each with their own little niche. So there's, of course, the water. There's the seaport, there's Back Bay, there's Somerville, there's Cambridge, and then people even go sometimes day trips to Maine, to the Cape, to New Hampshire for hikes. I mean, there's endless things to do in all seasons. So we're really lucky on that front in Boston.